All right, what's up, guys? Connor Ferguson here for another episode. I'm with Eric Bridger. Forgot to say his name this time. Another episode of the Dirt Podcast here at Always Race Day. Big weekend ahead. Big weekend. We just got through with a ton of stuff happening. Tasker Phillips got DQ'd at Knoxville. Brad Sweet's been taken off the Knoxville Nationals entry list. We're going to have more on that. Some intel I got about Knoxville's 2027 deal coming later in the show. And we'll answer any questions you got. Gio Scelzi won a crown jewel this weekend. Brandon Shepard won the PDC. We're going to get into all of it. I think is Indiana Sprint Week racing tonight? Do we know off the top of my head?
Yeah, they are.
They are. We were doing this as an offset to the Outlaws race, and I've been in NASCAR mode all day long, so I apologize for that. But they're still going with 3 nights to go. Give a quick update on that. They're back at Paragon. I saw the bar. It starts with an R. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to find the name in the back of my head. I will in 10 minutes, and then I'll let you guys know. But before we get started, I want to thank Chris Weiser and the fine people at ProfitMachine.ai. Every business needs AI right now, but nobody knows quite how to use it. With a dedicated development team, live weekly coaching calls, sales scripts, and pitch decks, along with access to a private member community with 200 plus AI advisors. AI Profit Machine can help you out. Go to ProfitMachine.ai today. They have a small little questionnaire, 8 questions, easy to fill out. I got my personal best the other day. 86 seconds, Eric. It took me to fill it out start to finish. They're very selective with their clientele, but if they can help you, they will. And Chris Weiser has helped us get up and down the road. Coming on over a year now. Came on during last year's Knoxville Nationals, so really appreciate him and his support, as well as everything you guys do. Go to shoptrackthreads.com today. Pick up your Always Race Day merch. We got a couple of new shirts that are on the way, and we will have some inventory at Ryan Levitt's merchandise hauler during the Knoxville Nationals. So go to the shoptrackthreads.com for the merch if you want to order it online. If you want to come during the Knoxville Nationals, go to the Track Threads trailer, and you can pick it up there. I assume it's not called the Shop Track Threads trailer. I don't know the diction, though. I have not asked Ryan about that. How are you, Bridger? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. If Connor can do the AI stuff at 86 seconds, that means he can do it in 75 seconds. So
exactly. And that anybody else? Yeah, absolutely. You're going to beat my record easy. Yeah. I did it in like 90 before that. I wanted to make sure it was close enough so I could keep resetting my own record on future shows. So I was just trying to write some future ad breaks for us. So
Chase ready for his sales pitch that might or may not happen at the Dingus Bar this year.
That's right. You can come up to me anywhere. Yeah. I will try and sell you on stuff if you want. If you're interested at all. I'm not very hard to get a hold of. Just shoot me a DM on Twitter or alwaysraceday@gmail.com is a good email. ConnorFerg9@gmail.com is my personal. Either of those work. But we appreciate everybody. Still have spots for nationals available. Still have things we can create out of thin air as low as $250. Let us know if you're at all interested. We could use the help, and we appreciate all the help we already get. So without further ado, Chase Dietz, World of Outlaws winner at Baps. We're leading with this because that race just got over. I'd love to do more post-race stuff in the future. It is there's minimal to talk about from this race in comparison to what we have from this weekend. But Chase Dietz gets a big win, holds off Buddy Kofoid. David Gravel goes from first to third. You don't see that too often. But still, you'll take first to third over first to 17th or 12th to 11th, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chase has been one of the fastest guys in Pennsylvania, if not the fastest. And you got to hold off home territory versus Outlaws, which I know is a big deal if there's fans out there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's cool to see. They do make them pretty dang good out in Pennsylvania. We like to Both our guys around here, but I always love seeing Pennsylvania locals get some stuff done. Sorry, but Buddy was asking me for a link to the show. Let's just do it. Let's go right to Brad Sweet. It's the biggest story of the week. One of sprint car racing's best to ever do it. Could be done forever. That was a possibility that was mentioned by Jeremy Elliott from SprintCarUnlimited.com on his 90 at 9 video segment. Now, that is – Jeremy did not misleadingly present this at all. This is exactly what he said too. But it could be the end of Brad's career. There's no, big sign or anything where Brad's, officially came out and said, I'm done. I'm never going to step foot in a sprint car again, et cetera, et cetera. There is just the abrupt ending to his Kings Royal week where the car didn't even get unpacked on was it after qualifying on Friday? It didn't even get unpacked.
Yeah, they scratched and then they didn't show up on Saturday night.
And obviously we've seen Brad had a nasty wreck there last year during high limits, I believe, portion of the show. And, you never want to see that. And if we have seen the last of him, and it's very shocking to me because he's won a 6-figure race this year, right? Like it's not like it doesn't seem like Brad's lost his fastball. It actually seemed like he got better racing with Paul Silva this season. Like it was almost night and day difference to how competitive he was in the big races in the past because he was points racing for a long time in his career. And it seemed like when he wasn't this year, he almost gained on some speed or found something with Paul that he didn't have in the later years of his career. But yeah, if that's it, like what a career for him. And I don't think anyone blames him for that being it. The only reason the rumors are swirling is because there's, no real official words out there. I think Kyle McFadden wrote the story for Flow with what Brad said there and everything. And it's definitely, we'll see.
Yeah. In this past April, he beat 50 cars at an outlaw show at Knoxville. And he picked up $20K, I think it was, as well too. So, it's Brad was a really good points racer with the outlaws and high limits. It really paid off for him with winning, was it like 6 championships in 7 years or something like that? And he almost won 7 out of 7. But kind of an odd situation there. I think he just, had some flashbacks or there's some kind of come with a real life moment of if he really wants to be a race car driver still or not. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe he'll get the itch again and want to run a California race or something like that. But yeah, it's like he said in his interview, he has nothing else to prove of. I think he's done what he's wanted done, and if he wants to go walk away from the sport, there's nothing really else he can do besides win more races.
Yeah, and here's part of his quotes from that Flow story. Brad said, "I'm not saying that I'm not capable. What I'm saying is I'm not showing up to the racetrack with that 110% commitment. And, putting the work in behind the scenes that you have to, especially to try to win the race. It's studying film, it's working out, it's being in race shape, it's being all in on making the right moves. The intensity gets ramped up at these big races. Sometimes I show up and get lucky. Could I run up front at the Knoxville Nationals? Yeah, but that's still not fair to go into it that way. I think that I just hold myself to a little higher regard than that." One more here. I'm sorry to jump around. He said, "Also, the conversation that we had was great. I still respect the shit out of Paul and have a good friendship with him. I'm able to kind of step away, and it gives them clarity on their path forward and clarity on my path forward." So it certainly seems like he's, out, obviously just of that car, but another quote here: "If I don't race again, I don't race again. If I decide I want to race again sometime, then I'll race again. I don't feel the need to. I don't feel the need to. When I retired from full-time racing, I didn't know what that meant. Well, it meant I was going to run 17 races this year and possibly be done, or I just don't know. Right now, I didn't feel comfortable at Eldora, so I pulled out of it. I don't think I'm going to Knoxville because I don't want to race Knoxville at that level." So it's sad, to see a guy lose that part of what he thinks makes him good there. I still think he was just as good. I think Eldora is a bit of a different beast than Knoxville. The tracks race a lot differently. One's had a lot worse accidents in the past than others, but both of them, the majors and how much torqued up everything gets going into those weekends, I can totally see where Brad's coming from. But yeah, fans are going to ask questions because they want to know, and that's why it doesn't help that Paul Silva doesn't do interviews. No one's crapping on him for it. Well, people might be. I don't know. We'll just say we aren't crapping on him for it. But yeah,
we'll very see. Few words.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Matt Weaver posted a photo of him sitting at the press conference table with Kyle Larson after the Chili Bowl and says, "I really regret not asking more questions that day." I think that was the last public interview he's ever done.
If you look at the interview, though, all the microphones besides one was sitting in front of Kyle Larson, and I'm sure he was probably very good at defaulting questions to Kyle versus him. So. Oh
yeah, I can't even. I remember either watching it or something, but that was absolutely.
This is a side story, but I remember in 2018, I think it was. Kyle was running the McDonald's car, and that's when he didn't qualify for the Nationals on Saturday night. And it was probably 5 o'clock or so, and there's probably like 5 or 10 people there who kept on driving by asking Paul if he was racing the night or not, even though the car was totally white, didn't have McDonald's sponsorship and all that too. And I kind of had the courage to ask him. I said, "Man, you're probably pretty tired of hearing that question," and he agreed 100% on that.
Had a similar interaction with Corey Day last week talking about Alex Bowman. So I'm thankful that Alex got that and got to at least get out on the sport on his own note. So let's do Gio Scelzi's win on Sunday at Port Royal. This one's super contentious on Twitter because we were talking about fuel stops last week going into this. Fuel stop at the Bob Weichert Memorial at lap 20. Gio Scelzi, I thought it changed the race. I will say that. I'm not out on fuel stops. I like having fuel stops. I like that it forces the crew chief to make a call, and that's a unique aspect of our sport that you can say like that's NASCARing it or IndyCaring the sport. I think it's the complete opposite. Those guys strategize the entire day, and they make little adjustments, and then you got to go race it out on the track, and your car either has it or it doesn't. It's not a big adjustment that you can make at a halfway break of a 40-lap race. You got to make a much bigger adjustment to have it, work for you and work out as good as it can. And Gio's car just came to life in the second half of that race and takes him to his first ever six-figure payday win, which I know he's been waiting for a couple of years, especially after that great week he had at Eldora a couple of years back.
Yeah, for a win, you want to get the first time of the year. If you're going to have to wait this long, it's pretty good to pick it at a race that pays $100,000 a win. That's
his first win with Spire's Ascent.
Yeah,
Spire Motorsports, but their Ascent program. I don't like that they named it something different. It trips me up every time. But the Spire Motorsports team, first sprint car win for him. That's awesome.
Yeah, to get paid $100,000 for that race. I mean, that's a pretty good payday to choose from if you're going to win one race or win your first race, even though it's been a while since he's won, and I'm sure he's been chomping at the bit. But I mean, it's he definitely came to life after that halfway break. I know a lot of people were upset because it was split, 20 and 20, but I rather see that than 35 and having to stop with 5 laps to go. You actually had a chance to get back into traffic and make it a race. I'd like to see them go the full 40 laps or make it a 35 lap race if they could, but it's not my show, so I can't really say what it is. So, but yeah, I mean, it's always a debate. I feel like every year. I think this was a little bit different because it was on a Sunday night in the middle of the summer. So a lot of eyeballs were on it. Whereas before, this race is always on Memorial Day weekend, where some people might be out and about or attending different races or something like that. So it always sparks the conversation, and usually Knoxville Nationals as well too always sparks the conversation about having a fuel stop. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm fine with it. I mean, it is what it is. I'd rather see a race long instead of 25 laps, and I think the same top 5 guys finished in the top 5 after the break, so I don't think it really mattered.
Yeah, the top 5 was the same. The old traditionalists will argue with you all day long and say, like, Gio would have never won that race if not for that, which, sure, we can argue in hypotheticals all day if we want to. I watched the last 3 Knoxville Nationals. The field stop has not mattered.
Yeah.
In the same regard. So I don't know. There's so many different sides of it. A couple more things that we got to get in. Eric's got a hard out. I'm not trying to go over the PDC, but I wasn't there. We will be there next year. I promise we'll get there next year. I didn't put my stuff in early enough. But Ryan Timms on fire, wins at Knoxville again on Saturday night. 5 wins in a row. They didn't go, but they were thinking about going to Port Royal. Little inside baseball. There was I think Shane floated the idea, and then Ryan said, I haven't even gotten to talk to him yet. So I suppose we'll have that conversation once we're done. And I was like, I won't ask you about it. Don't worry. But nice of Ryan. We've known him for a while on here. Good friend of the show. He did infield beers with us. I've got some monster names lined up for infield beers. I shouldn't overpromise like that. One of them's Thomas Kennedy. There's one of the infield beers at least through the week. Canadian. He's on Gage Polkrebek's team as the crew chief now. So I'm excited to get that one done. He's been a friend for a long time. Let us know if you want to see a certain person on there, mention it to them if you'd like. Just tell them you'd like to see them on there, and we'll do our best to do it. I'm all for if we schedule one and that person is out on the C main of their prelim night and they still want to do it. I could care less. Many people of which that happens to don't typically want to do it. So that's the one thing that we try not to do that. But of the people that aren't planning on competing at nationals, I think we've got a solid lineup of guests that potentially could end up on infield beers. So check out Ryan's interview with us from Saturday. Tasker got DQ'd Saturday night. Eric, did you hear about this at all?
Yeah. I mean, I got to give a shout out to the PDC, to Brandon Shepard for winning it, even though he makes
please do. Yes, please do.
Illini t-shirts, but doesn't watch Illini games. So,
we gotta get you guys to watch an Illini game before a super late model race.
That's not
so we can't. We're not bringing Brandon. We're just going to the track Brandon's at, and we got to convince Eric then to be at a racetrack during the game.
That's going to be hard to do. So
it's going to be. This might not happen for 6 years.
Yeah, but no, shout out to Shepard for winning that. That was a pretty good race. I actually did watch that a little bit. So, I went to bed, and then I woke up to Tasker being DQ'd, and that was kind of late and I don't know what exactly happened. I don't know if
I got you. I'm sorry. I've been doing a bad job of this tonight.
The old saying is the people in the pits will be the first tattletales versus the officials on what someone's doing something wrong. So
what happened? There was a wreck at the end of the 360 A main to where they were red flagged on the racetrack for an extended period of time. And Tasker got pushed to the infield and didn't go to the scales. He pointed it in. Obviously, For the old school people out there, rules are rules. For the new school people out there, I talked to Cade Higday's team. They all would rather win a championship on the racetrack. I talked to JJ Hickle's team, who's battling them in owners' points, both those teams. They'd rather ship it up and win it on the racetrack. I'd rather, as a fan, see it won or lost on the racetrack. So that's where it's like I don't love some of this stuff with like the rules are rules people, but I totally get the same thing from the other side.
Did he push it in his pit stall and then immediately push it back out and went to the scales?
I don't know, and I didn't get clarification on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened at Nationals before with Logan Schuhart. He had a transfer in the B main. And the outlaw rule, I don't think they scale after the B main, so he wasn't used to it. And then he pulled into the pits, and then they hurried up and tried to push him back out. But then by then there was probably 10 people hooting and hollering at the officials saying, hey, this car pulled into his pits, and then trying to go to the scales. So
I do think it's funny because like the opposition would say if you pull into your pit stall, someone could alter the car. But like, say you go meet the car wherever it's at, anywhere else, and take off this little cheater thing. I mean, there's very few devices or anything you could use to really alter it that quickly, anyways. But
well, no one's talked about yet how you can stick a AirPod in your ear and have a phone call conversation with someone else in the grandstands.
Yeah, Eric uses them right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have people that. Obviously, I don't know. I'm sure there's I don't know. It just seems kind of silly. All these checks for watches and phones or some type of Bluetooth device, but people don't realize that, hey, I could have one ear in my AirPod and be on a phone call with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric, can you help me with a piece of history here? It's from Marshall Haynes. He says Jason Myers in 2010 at Nationals. What happened with that?
Ooh, that was.
And I apologize to the people. I was 12. My bad.
Yeah, and that was probably we started going Nationals in 2011. 2011, 2012. Jason Myers.
And I believe this is the same year that Sammy had the
Sammy
Goodyear explode on him. Yeah.
Scales. I'm just going to see.
This could, and please send us stuff like this, because this is like off-season stuff we're going to have for different videos we're going to do. Here we go.
Yeah.
RJ Johnson, I think this is the real RJ Johnson. There's like 3 of them out there, so it's probably one of them. He says he forgot to go to the scales on qualifying night. There we go.
Yeah, Nationals has that odd rule with after – I don't know if they do after the heat races or not for the transfers. They might still do that. And where they scale a lot. Even if you win the D main, you got to scale. Or you win the C main, you got to scale if you transfer.
And they say that very clearly at the drivers' meeting. I don't want that out there as if that is like a thing they sneak in or anything.
Yeah, it's just something that people are just not used to because they're trying to get the show going. That's why Knoxville stopped scaling after heat races. It's just to keep the show moving. Yeah,
you just forget. Like, tell you how many times I've shot a hockey puck and forgot how to shoot it. You know, it's just sometimes it goes in one ear out the other, no matter what you're doing. We were going to go through the Knoxville Nationals entry list. I'm going to forego that so we can get Eric off here. I got one more thing. And then next week we'll try to do a preview going into the week. And I don't know. Well, it'll probably air Wednesday night. If not, we'll do it Tuesday. I got to get with Eric, see what his schedule's like, and see what we're doing. But look for us. We'll have a coverage schedule posted for Nationals and stuff. And then we'll do a preview on the that off day Tuesday. We'll do something that day before Nationals leading into it of like, here's, where everyone's running at during the week, what changed from our original predictions, stuff like that. So tons of cool stuff coming. I'm excited to get to Knoxville where there might be something different in 2027. So all I could say about it is Knoxville's streaming deal for next season and beyond is not signed yet. Obviously, the two competing entities there would be Dirt Vision and Flow. You can guess that. I'm not telling you that information. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I can tell you Knoxville GM Jason Reed has said it on this show that he'd be open to talking to whomever about this streaming deal and what is with that for Knoxville Raceway and who's, I don't want to say behind all that. It sounds like I'm talking about something I'm not. Just who they go with in future years. So could we see a switch? I don't know. I'm not trying to lean you one way or the other, but I'm just telling you it's not Fox Sports 1. It's not like that's probably a bad example too. ABC's not coming in to do a TV deal. It's between Dirt Vision and Flow. But yeah, so that could change at Knoxville. We'll see. There will be some Flow people at Nationals, and we'll see what comes of it. There's a lot of potential there, a lot of things, not power changing hands, but broadcast changing hands, stuff like that. Eric, do you have any thoughts on that? I just completely butchered because I don't want to speak out of turn on this. I'm trying to protect myself a little bit. I try to do that a little too often. I apologize, guys.
Yeah, you won't have the Saturday night college football intro for Knoxville on ESPN. They won't be on ABC or Fox or anything like that stuff. So maybe I will. I don't know. Never say never.
Yeah, never. Yeah, don't close anything off. Maybe we were the first one to suggest it.
Get Brett Musburg on back on and say you're looking live at the sprint car capital of the world.
Tony Bachhoven does a fine enough job. Tuesday, August 11th, there's a 360 race at Marshalltown.
There is. You saying it was not a quiet night? It is not a quiet night, Connor.
I can't promise I'll be there.
5,000 to win.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear you.
It's
heard
$500
about this clearly.
start.
Eric's thinking about coming back 360 racing.
I think I might attend that. Dad and I talked about it.
Oh, attended. I thought you said attempt that.
No.
Okay.
There's no attempts of 360 racing.
Maybe someday. If you guys really need a 360 racer, Eric, you don't even want to throw your name out there potentially?
My body would probably say no.
Okay. All right. That's okay. Maybe someday. If not, we'll get them on the new NASCAR game. Eric and I will do when that comes out. We'll do a 1v1 stream.
There you go.
That'll be fun. All right. Appreciate you joining me, Eric.
Come on. We got to talk about the StubHub fiasco.
Oh, yeah. So I
time for
almost
that.
Didn't talk about that.
Very bad PR release.
Yes. Yeah. You say because I don't think it's like anything dirt racing fans need to be aware of or even be afraid of, but the PR of it's a terrible look. Yeah.
It's hard because their intention is to grow the sport by listing their events available on StubHub to buy. So if I'm not a race fan and I'm in, say I'm in Wisconsin and the Outlaws are in town, I can look up, say, oh, there's a sprint car race I never heard of before, and the tickets are $38. Let me check it out. That's kind of like their intention, or like if they're in Pennsylvania and I'm staying in around Williams Grove for some reason for work during the weekend, and
you're going to a Penn State football game.
Yeah, I mean it's that was their intentions. It's just the press release made it sound like you had to pay to meet drivers. You could pay to meet drivers. You could buy your tickets from there. They didn't mention anything about how you can still buy tickets online through the World of Outlaws. And, anybody that hears Ticketmaster, StubHub, SeatGeek, whatever, it's all they think about is fees.
Yeah, they've been feed out of all those sports. Any app you get on.
Yeah. So that was a bad part.
Yeah, the Outlaws should have known that was coming. They should have a better read of your fan base to announce something. And in the release, I mean, the first line of it should have been, if you're a general World of Outlaws fan and you buy tickets at the racetrack, don't worry. That isn't changing. That should have been in bold, like in all caps at the start, and then maybe again throughout it, like at the start of each paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe then you'll have less people confused, but people don't read anymore. I mean, they
just look at the headline.
Yep, and they see StubHub World of Outlaws and they go, "This sucks," and I don't blame them for it because everything that company does sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably got 10 emails right away from people that I'm not going to pick on an age group, but the people that would email them right away saying, "You're telling me I have to buy my tickets from StubHub?" So
I emailed them right after I figured out after 10 minutes that my Wi-Fi went out and we lost the stream on the last podcast. I'm kidding, but yeah, I know what you mean.
No wonder the StubHub stock went down 2% today.
That's you know what? They're racing stronger than we think. Maybe that's it.
I don't even know if they're a public traded company. I don't think they are.
Oh yeah, that's a fake number either.
Yeah, that's a fake number.
I was so sure you were like, and I don't know why I thought you were looking at the stocks, but
let's see. I'm kind of curious now. Give me your thoughts, but let me look this up.
Yeah, you just have to have more of a sense of PR to know, like in Connor Wade, was replying to people, and that was very helpful. He did great there. But like if you as an organization, I don't know who wrote that press release, and I don't want to pick on any one person that wrote it because I guarantee you a lot of the phrasing in there was based on stuff they put in contracts and all the legal mumbo jumbo. But you have to know how this is going to look when you announce a thing with a headline and the two logos in the photo are yours and StubHub. You just have to know. Come on.
So StubHub is a public traded company, and their stock went down 0.12% today. But
0.12, not 12, right?
No.
Big difference?
0.12, 0.12.
I think that's from the
0.12.
I think that's from the public complaining. I
But
don't know what affects stocks. I don't trade stocks. I'm not in the business of trading stocks, and maybe someday I will, but it won't be me. It'll be someone that knows how to do it, doing it for me.
Well, don't call your bookie and buy StubHub stock. I'm just saying that right now.
Do you know buy low, sell high?
No, I don't think that's happening.
And we can't. I think we're supposed to say we're not advisors on how to spend your money, but if you do it through Shop Track Threads. Get an Always Race Disher.
Yeah, do your AI research through the Wise Group.
Absolutely. Profitmachine.ai, shoptrackthreads.com. Eric, you good to go?
I am good, boss.
I'm good to go too. We will see you guys over this weekend. If you are at Knoxville, I'll see you there. If you're at Mason City on Sunday, I'll see you all over there as well with my buddy Glenn Saville. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, and can't wait for Nationals to get started here. See you next week.
See ya.